Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Tuesday Tea Time. I'm a little bit late today. I have to be honest. I was having so much fun playing with horses. I completely lost track of the days of the week. And I'm here in Portugal. It's a beautiful evening light. And here we are at tea time. I know that many people will watch this after the fact instead of when it's live. But I thought I would just go ahead and do it, even though I'm late. So today, I did a whole bunch of filming for my Patreon group. And I'm working on some really interesting projects. So last week, I talked about herd integration, and that was really interesting. And I'm still working on my herd integration video, so for those of you who are interested in knowing more about that, hello Hannah, welcome to tea time. So for those of you who are interested in knowing more about the herd integration stuff I was talking about last week, I will have a video up on Patreon, I think this week. I'm going to go into editing tonight because I've got some great footage. But then as well as that, I started a project really working on developing the 5 senses in horses. And this has been really fun. So for those of you on Patreon, I posted a video last Friday about touch. Touch is one of the easiest of the 5 senses to develop with horses because as human beings, we really like to touch them. And they have that sensation of touch between us and them fairly frequently. That's very, very common. It's very, very normal. My theory is that horses really either develop concern or comfort from each one of their 5 senses. And developing a horse is really about how to teach them to gain comfort from each one of their 5 senses. And obviously sometimes those are going to be stacked together. You know, they will be touched by something at the same time as they hear a sound, at the same time as they smell something. And they might be okay with 2 of those, but not 3 of those. And so when we get a horse that is concerned by the stacking of sensations, the way we help them with that is by breaking it down. Hello, Nicola. Welcome to tea time. So I am developing a little video series for my Patreon members about how you isolate each one of the 5 senses. Last week I posted one about touch. That's a pretty simple one. And then I've been filming all day today working on the one about sound and smell. And it's been really fascinating. I've had these theories for a while, but this has been my first opportunity to really isolate down to each individual sense and look at how we help the horse link more feelings of comfort instead of more feelings of concern. So, welcome Steph from Portland. It's really fun, tea time. We gather people from all over the world. I know I'm a little late tonight in Portugal. My apologies, everyone, but thank you for joining me anyway. I wanted to share the sort of beautiful evening light. I'm out on the terrace and I love this time of night. The bugs are gone, the horses are calm. It's really, really lovely. So today I got to work with a horse that's very, very sensitive to sound and to smell, which means that she has a tendency to shut down and pretend she doesn't hear things, to the point you actually wonder, is she deaf? Can she hear things? And then she overreacts. So she goes from no response at all to a huge response that is not really appropriate. And this has been a problem. And so I'm so glad I had this opportunity here in Portugal to really study it. And we've spent sort of the last week working on it, filming the process. And she's so much better today. It's been really, really fun to see how her thoughtful responsiveness has developed over the sessions and how the reactivity has just sort of started melting away more and more. And the shutting things out is really starting to melt away as well. It'll take a little bit more time really before the shutting out is more developed into curiosity and engagement and all of those good things. But, you know, a step at a time. That's really how we do these things, just a step at a time. So if any of you have horses that are particularly bothered by sounds or by touch or by smells or by tastes, it might be interesting for you to think about a little bit how you isolate that down and use feel and timing so the horse starts to think about those sensations in a different way. They start to think about each one of their 5 senses as bringing comfort and soothing them instead of bringing anxiety that concerns them. And if you find that you have trouble with any one of them or 2 at the same time, think about how you break it down. How do you give them a little bit less to stay under the threshold so that then they can think more thoughtfully about all the input that comes in through their 5 senses. So I'm going to leave you guys with that thought. Short tea time today. It's getting a little bit dark. I'm going to go tuck in and work on my editing. And thank you guys for joining me for tea time.